Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our daily prayer program here at Kardec Radio. My name is Deise Galan, and today we will be praying together, reading a beautiful message, and having these moments where we can truly rebalance ourselves. So we invite you to join us. We ask you to better take advantage of this moment to stop what you're doing. We know it's 6 p.m. here, Eastern time in the United States. Um, we have people connected from all over the world, but at this very time, sometimes it's hard to stop, to put things aside, but we you to join us for just a few minutes. If you can stop what you're doing, it's truly a healing moment for all of us. You can also put a glass of water or a bottle of water near you. In the kind and benevolent spirits, your guardian angel will be there with you. They're going to be putting all the remedies that you need, and they're going to use these moments to truly help you. So before we start, we invite you for an initial prayer so that we can raise our thoughts and we can rebalance ourselves together before we read our message of today. So I'm going to put some music here for us. So we invite you, dear friends, let's close our eyes and let's forget about the troubles of our days, raising our thoughts to our loving God. Dear loving God, Master Jesus, thank you so much for another day in this precious reincarnation. We know, dear Father, that we take our days for granted, forgetting about the tasks that we assume and that we, together with you, put together in our reincarnatory plan to be completed on this life. Please forgive us, Father, because we are still so childish, where we ask and ask, forgetting that you push us to be the adults, to take responsibility, and to understand that we're here to love and serve and not to ask, because you already granted us so much. At this very moment, Father, open our hearts, our minds, so that we can truly rebalance ourselves, that we can receive the treatments and the energy that we need to continue on this task on earth. We pray, dear Father, for brothers and sisters who at this very moment are suffering dearly in both physical and spiritual realms, that they can also receive the blessings of this moment, that their strength can be renewed, and that they can receive the visit of your loving messengers, rescuing those in need, consoling, and giving us the spiritual treatment that we need at this very moment. We are so grateful, Father, that you never forsake us and you continue to provide us daily with love, care, and an opportunity to start anew. We ask your permission, dear Father, so that we can start these prayerful moments of today. And so be it. Hello, dear friends. Welcome again for joining us here today in our daily prayer. So, today we're reading a message from this book, Living Spring, psychographed by Chico Xavier by the Spirit Emmanuel. If you have this book and you want to follow along the message, it is number 113. It is titled, Let Us Seek the Best. Jesus said, why do you look at the specks of your brother's eye? This is in Matthew chapter 7, verse 3. And Emmanuel explains to us in this message. Even today, the Master's question is clear and opportune. Very often, those who have a speck in one of their eyes also have bloody feet. After a laborious journey in virtue, they show that their hands have become calloused from the work and that their hearts have been wounded by 1,000 blows of ignorance and inexperience. We absolutely have to get used to looking for the best so that we do not become hoodwinked by our own malice. Very often, due to our habit of searching for bagatelles, we miss opportunities for great achievements. Valuable and respectable co-workers are relegated to the wayside by our thoughtlessness in many circumstances, simply because they have minor defects or insignificant shadows from the past, which service on behalf of others could cleanse and dissipate. Knots in the wood do not obstruct the work of the artisan, and stony parts of a field do not keep the farmer from sowing it. Let us employ the willing brother or sister in the sowing of the good and forget about the trifles of his or her life. What will become of us if Jesus did not forgive our daily wrongs and defections? And if we hope to evolve, counting on the Lord's benevolence, why should we deny our neighbor his or her trust in the future? Let us dedicate ourselves to the task that the Lord has reserved for us in the spreading of the light and the good, and let us be convinced that by doing so, the speck that trouble our neighbor's eyes will, just like the log that obscure ours, will spontaneously dissolve, restoring our happiness and balance by means of our continuous renewal. So I see here many friends. Thank you so much for joining us. I see Betty, Luciana, John, Teresa, Danielle, Mark, Carlos, Estela. Welcome, friends, and so many others that I cannot see you. So let us reflect for a few moments before our prayer on this beautiful message by Emmanuel that he titles, Let Us Seek the Best. And this is so beautiful because Jesus brought this right to us how we should always seek the best, seek the good in others. And you might be asking yourself, but how can we do this, right? We go through our daily lives, and right now, as we are going through the middle of a pandemic, and we are surrounded, right, by so many negative things around us. And you ask yourself, Daisy, how can we seek the best, right? Well, first of all, friends, it it's on us to seek, right? So it's on us to then tune in to the best. So if we think about throughout our days, if we are connecting to those things that are not so positive, we will be then, right? Like we know in Spiritism that like attracts like. So if I keep myself connecting to things that are not the best, not positive, right? Negative, I will attract that negative. But if I train myself, yes, we look at the news and it is very troublesome and we pray, but we also think, trusting in God, right? We trust in God, we put God in the center of our lives, and we tell ourselves there must be a reason. God knows what is best, and we seek the best, right? So many scientific advantages and discoveries are happening. Look at our planet, right? Our atmosphere, our nature is rejoicing because there's not so much travel, there's not so much interference. So that is just some examples how we can seek the best. But Emmanuel in this message goes one step further, and he is reminding us how to seek the best in others. We know it's hard, right? Having people in our lives through our families, our work. It is hard sometimes because people have different personalities. They come with their own baggage, right? But what we have to do, we have to seek the best. Jesus is teaching us to seek the best in others. And Emmanuel, in another book that complements this one very well, that I recommend if you haven't studied or read, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's called Thought and Life. It's also psychographed by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Emmanuel teaches us how we can seek the best in others, and the foundation of it is through tolerance and understanding. Because Emmanuel explains if we want to protect ourselves, so it's a matter of protection. Right now, we're talking so much about finding a vaccine, right? How we can protect ourselves. Well, the good news is that Emmanuel already brought the recipe for us, and he says, okay, to protect ourselves, to protect our mental reflex, we need understanding as the foundation for the task of our renewal. So, understanding, friends, Emmanuel is bringing to us that understanding is the foundation for us to protect ourselves. And as we do that understanding, we are doing this daily exercise to seek the best in others. How that happens, he explained to us, and we will not go into so much detail, but if you want to listen more, we recommend the program at Kardec Radio. Our dear Vanessa Anceloni did the whole series of the book Thought and Life. You can go to Kardec Radio's playlist and listen to each of the chapters. This understanding is chapter 10. We recommend you to go and listen because Emmanuel explains if we're not understanding, so what is the opposite of understanding? Is impatience, right? When we are aggressive, when we are angry, those are the opposites of being understanding and tolerant. As we project that sometimes through our feelings, not even words or actions, but just feelings, we are putting that in our vibratory field. And as I was explaining at the beginning, as we emit that, we will attract the same thing. So we will also attract impatience, aggressiveness, right? Those feelings to ourselves. But he says if we build this understanding is when we put ourselves in other people's shoes and we think, well, if I haven't done this on this reincarnation, I'm sure I have committed this and done things much worse in previous reincarnations, right? Is when we really put ourselves in their shoes and we say, okay, I see from my point of view. I have, as our dear friend say, Carol Correia, I have my own webcam. People have their own webcams. The Gardenians have their webcams. The obsessors have theirs, right? Our Master Jesus is there seen from his angle. So everyone comes from their different points of view. And Emmanuel continues explaining to us that if we want to really undo the handcuffs of evil, so the handcuffs or those things that have been holding on for lives after lives, if we build this understanding, how? By seeking the best. As we're saying, focusing on the good, right? Here, Emmanuel's words, when we seek the good, we feel the good, we visualize the good, and we mold the good with all the resource that we have. And it's a daily exercise, as I said, is when we practice it. Okay, what I am feeling right now, and what can I do to change? And we know it's hard sometimes, but if we look at someone and even putting ourselves in their shoes, the things that cannot really understand, there's one rule, friends, that we cannot go wrong. We tell ourselves and we think, they are a children of God. I'm sure you can outline, right? We can outline many things. People have their qualities, they come from their perspective. But if by any chance we cannot think about anything else, we focus and we tell ourselves they are children of God. God loves them as much as he or she loves me and loves everyone else. And as we go through this daily exercise of seeking the good, we will truly protect ourselves, as Emmanuel is explaining to us in this message. As we work towards the good and we invite our brothers and sisters, instead of putting barriers or conditions for people to join us in our task. Oh, but in order for people to be able to join me on this task of the good or in this opportunity, they need to fulfill X, Y, and Z requirements, right? But we have to remember where we are imperfect ourselves. We come with a lot of baggage ourselves, and people need to be very understanding toward ourselves. So why not we then take this opportunity to be understanding of others and seeking the best of others? It's a daily exercise, friends. And before we close with our prayer, there's one more tip that we want to share with you, how you can continue in this positive, right? There's so many things nowadays. You can do meditations, you can do affirmations. So this is just one, but there is this app that you can download on your phone. It's called I am app. It's opening up. So if you can see, it gives you affirmations. It's saying right now, I am strong. And then you can do reminders for yourself, and it would remind you and it will give you, it can be every 10 minutes, 20 minutes, every hour, but it's an affirmation to keep yourself on the positive, on the good, right? So that we can, as we're going through so much changes in our lives, we can keep ourselves focused in the good, starting with looking for the good in ourselves, because most of the time, who put the impediments in our lives start with ourselves. We are the first ones there, friends, putting barriers. Oh, because I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not intelligent enough, I'm not capable enough. Right, there's so many lists. So let's change it to seek the good. You and we are children of God. We are here. We have so much wonderful qualities. So, not in a prideful way, but in a humble way to strengthen ourselves and seek the good in ourselves, in others, and in everything around us. And that was truly gonna be a protective field around us as we move forward in this reincarnation. So now we invite you to our final prayer. I'm gonna put some music here for us so that we can conclude these moments of today. So we invite you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, you tell yourself, I am light. And as you breathe out, you tell our whole planet, you are light. And as you breathe in, you tell yourself, I'm joy of living. And as you breathe out, you express to the world, you are joy of living. And as you breathe in, you tell ourselves, we are beautiful children of God. And as we breathe out, we think about those brothers and sisters in our pathway who we might be intolerant, and we tell them, you are beautiful children of God. And in doing this exercise of breathing in and out, we see ourselves in a beautiful garden. Pick the flower that is closest to your heart and imagine ourselves there, walking among the flower fields, smelling the perfume of the flowers that surrounds you with healing energies. And you see a figure standing right next to you. Our Master Jesus is by your side. And he invites you to pick baskets of flowers with much love and care. Master Jesus now directs you and guides you. Let us take those flowers, friends, to our brothers and sisters who we still have to reconcile, who we still have to learn to seek the best in them. And we deliver baskets of understanding and forgiveness, tolerance, and love to each and every one of them. In doing this exercise, we feel that from our hearts, feelings of understanding and tolerance connect us to them, washing away emotions that we've been carrying for sometimes lives to come. And Jesus now invites us to continue delivering this basket of flowers to hospitals, nursing homes, refugee camps, prisons, and shelters, and also to our brothers and sisters who are on the streets without a home or a family. We deliver this healing basket, asking Master Jesus to guide and protect those who are suffering the most at this time on earth. Dear loving Master, you know our hearts better than anyone else. Please teach us, Master, to seek the best in others, starting by seeking the best within ourselves. Teach us to be understanding and tolerant towards others as you are understanding and tolerant towards us. And that we together can work towards the good that our planet is in dear need at this time and at this moment. With much gratitude in our hearts for the opportunity of this reincarnation to work within ourselves to be more understanding, tolerant, more forgiving. We feel that with you by our side, we can accomplish anything. We ask, dear Master, your permission to close this prayerful moments of today. And so be it. Thank you so much, dear friends. I see so many friends here, Rafael, Franklin, and so many others that I don't see to say hi. Thanks for joining us. We invite you to join us again at 6 p.m. here at Kardec Radio for a daily prayer program. But also there are programs 24/7 at Kardec Radio. You can tune in our Facebook, YouTube channel, our app, and you can always be nourishing our souls, friends. Have a blessed day, a blessed evening whenever you are. Don't forget to drink your water, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.